Lesson 4.2, operations with matrices. Adding and subtracting is pretty easy. So just given the information below, perform the operation. So we've got a plus b here. Well, a is a 2 by 2 and b is a 2 by 2. I don't actually usually put the parentheses in first, but I thought I'd help out. And then you just add them. 4 plus 0, negative 2 plus negative 2, 3 plus 7, 1 plus 3. B minus A, a little trickier in that you got to watch out for your negatives. Again, that's how we usually do it. 0 minus 4, negative 2 minus negative 2, 3 minus 1, 7 minus 3, 4. Notice I'm sloppy about what order I do them in. I just get them done. And then A plus C. Well, we have a 2 by 2 plus a 2 by 1. That's impossible. When adding and subtracting, you have to have the same dimensions. It'll be very different from multiplication, so watch out when we get there. So, how many of the endangered and threatened species do not live in the United States in this chart? There's a little political correctness here, giving you the horrible, horrible state of the species in the world. I think it's interesting that there's so many in the United States. Relative to the entire world, my guess would be that we're really good at measuring and looking for them, whereas the rest of the world's busy killing them and eating them for dinner. But at any rate, we need to set up some matrices. So we have one right here. This is the US. Actually, change my mind. I'm going to do the world first. I'll just write world above it to keep it straight. 309, 252, 79, 17, 80, 24, 21, 36, 9, 42. And here's the US. The 1, 74, 14, 9, 69, 8, 15, 22, 8, 42. So the key here is understanding that in the world, we have all the ones that are covered in the United States. So 61 of these are in the United States. How much are in the rest of the world? Well, we just subtract. So subtract 309 minus 61, 248, I believe. Doing these off the top of my head. 24 minus 8, 16. 21 minus 15 is 6. 36 minus 22 is 14. And minus 8 is 1. So only one amphibian in the rest of the world is threatened. Again, I think we have good measuring. And then all 42 of the fish that are threatened are in the United States. Interesting. I think this has something to do with the EPA being in the United States. 252 minus 74. I believe that'll get us to 178, but I'm going to have to check. 4 and 8 is 12. Carry the 1. Yep, looks like I did it right. 79 minus 14. 17 minus 9. 80 minus 69. Good. So here's our solution. Just subtracting the matrices. It was a very complicated thing I did for something that really isn't that hard. Could have done it without drawing the world and US matrix. Most of the time, when you're working with data like this, you're going to put it in a spreadsheet. And this will be an Excel spreadsheet problem. So we'll do something called scalar multiplication. It means we multiply the whole matrix by one single number. Scalar is the opposite of a vector. A vector has two aspects to it. A scalar has just one, in this case, a magnitude. So I realize that these are people at a wedding or something like that. I have no idea. I realize, oh, it should be half the size. So we do what's called scalar multiplication and multiply 1/2. and just multiply each piece by 1/2. Notice I made it nice and easy. It usually is not. But again, you can just do this with a calculator. Pardon me, with a Excel spreadsheet. So now we can double things up. Let's do it twice. 3 times e, and I'm just going to do them on the fly. 3e minus 5d equals, and I don't recommend this because I make mistakes. 0 minus 20 is negative 20. Negative 6 plus 10 is 4. 21 minus 15 is 6. And 9 minus 5 is 4. So there's a combination. And that's a little bit tricky math, but not that hard. Use a calculator if you want. It's good to practice with your head and then check with the calculator, see if you did it right. Finally, what properties do you think matrices have? They have the associative property. They have the commutative property. And they have the distributive property. We just showed some of that above with the multiplying and then subtracting, things like that. That's it. Not really complex stuff. A lot of detailed oriented calculations, but you should have no problem. Good luck.